What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Young and Cool. Today we're looking at 7 times TV shows predicted the future. At number 1, Star Trek predicts the moon landing. Gene Roddenberry's sci-fi epic didn't get a lot of respect when it originally aired during the 60s, but for a show with so many bizarre alien species and crazy fictional galaxies, it somehow managed to predict the space ambitions of real human beings. In a 1967 episode called Tomorrow is Yesterday, the Starship Enterprise jumps back in time to 1969 and picks up a radio transmission from NASA, in which they overhear word about astronauts preparing to blast off from Cape Kennedy for mankind's first landing on the moon. Whether the writers just randomly picked the year 1969 or if they actually knew something we didn't, that's anyone's guess. At number 2, The Simpsons predicts President Donald Trump. Remember in 2016 when most people thought it was a long shot that Trump would ever be elected president? The long-running animated series The Simpsons predicted it back in 2000 in the episode Back to the Future. The long-running animated series The Simpsons predicted it back in 2000 in the episode Bart to the Future. When Bart gets a chance to see into the future, he learns that sister Lisa would grow up to become the first straight female president. What's more, her predecessor was none other than Trump, who at the time was known mostly as a real estate developer and author of The Art of the Deal. Dan Greenery, a writer on the show, explained in an interview that the joke was intended to set the stage for a dystopian future. That just seemed like the logical stop before hitting rock bottom, he said. It was consistent with the vision of America going insane. At number 3, Parks and Recreation predict the Cubs World Series win. There used to be 2 ways to demonstrate that a TV show was set in an improbable future. One was with an African-American president, which pre-Obama, if you'll remember, seemed like a fairy tale. And the other was by having the Chicago Cubs win a World Series. Parks and Recreation took the latter approach during their final season in 2015 when Tom and Andy visit Chicago at some point in the near future and are told that everyone in the city is in a really good mood now because of the Cubs winning the series. Sure enough, just 1 year later, the Cubbies broke their 108-year losing streak and finally took home the Commissioner's Trophy. At number 4, Max Headroom predicts internet advertising and 4chan. How could a show made in the 80s accurately predict so many things about the modern digital age? Decades before the internet became anything the mainstream was even aware existed. We always thought Max Headroom was just a talking head used to shill new Coke, but as it turns out, the show was also giving hints about a future in which we're bombarded with internet advertising, where even terrorists become reality stars, and a new crime empire would be built in virtual spaces like 4chan. At number 5, The $6 Million Man predicts bionic limbs. If you grew up in the 70s, you likely had fantasies about becoming Lee Majors, the bionic star of The $6 Million Man. Imagine being able to run at superhuman speeds, see at tremendous distances with your bionic eye, and lift tanks with your bionic limbs. Well, we're closer than ever to bionics becoming more than just fodder for a kid's daydream. Robotic prosthetics are increasingly becoming a reality, with one lab working on a high-tech arm that can be controlled with a person's mind. And then there's the Argus 2, a bona fide bionic eye, which is currently in clinical trials and could be available to the public pretty soon. At number 6, the Thunderbirds predicts Skype. The oddball action series from the 60s, performed entirely with puppets, follows an ex-astronaut billionaire and his 5 adult sons who protect the planet from harm with their futuristic ships, all called Thunderbirds. Among their many technological marvels was a communication device that worked like a phone, but with a TV screen that let you look at the person you were calling. 50 years later, even your grandparents are using video conferencing services like Skype, FaceTime, and Google Hangouts. And at number 7, Friends predicts Facebook. When Ross introduced his pal Chandler in 2003 to a new website designed exclusively for college students, something that Facebook would introduce a year later, he called it a place to post messages for people, let everyone know what you're up to. Chandler, in the true snarky fashion, responded to Ross with, "Oh great, a faster way to tell people that I'm unemployed and childless." So not only did Friends predict a social media empire built on people telling each other what you're up to, but it also predicted the eye-rolling sarcasm it would inspire, and the deep depression that comes with constantly comparing your life with others in an online forum for no apparent reason. That's deep. Alright guys, well thank you for watching this video of Young and Cool. If you enjoyed, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe by hitting that bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe and have a beautiful day.